Please welcome a great man, one of the best ring announcers to ever step in a professional wrestling ring, one of my personal heroes. This man is Mark Adam Haggerty.
How was that?
Folks, give it up for Shane Fair, everybody. Give it up for Shane Fair and the White Glove Party. This is Go Pro Wrestling. This is Go Big or Go Home. And we have got an exciting night for you here tonight. Several AEW talents are going to be wrapping up their independent careers right here in this building before your very eyes. But before we get to the action, I would like to ask everyone to please rise for America the Beautiful. And here to sing America the Beautiful, please welcome Erica Mason Kapala.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
When you take risks, you learn that there will be times when you succeed and there will be times when you fail. And both are equally important.
You're talking to somebody who has given his entire life to professional wrestling.
Anthony and I are gonna step foot in that ring. We're gonna go mano a mano, toe to toe. I'm gonna love every second of it. And you know something? He won't. I'll make sure of it.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
You got a dream, you gotta protect it. You want something, go get it. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something.
We can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell.
Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
Don't cry to give up, try to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain, you already hurt. Get a reward from it.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
You never give up. You pick yourself up. You brush yourself off. You push forward. You move on. You adapt. You overcome. That is what I believe.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks.
Tonight, I speak to those who still proudly stand in my corner.
Dreams without goals are just dreams. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this. Fall forward.
Opening contest is scheduled for one fall.
days of crying. Oh, I had so many days of pain. Have you ever been as sad as I am? Lord, I ask if anything would change. I can see the future that we're heading. I would say it's better not to tell. If it's anything like this in heaven, maybe I'll be better off in hell.
Hello everybody and welcome to Go Professional Wrestling's debut event, Go Big or Go Home. I'm Josh Chernoff and I am joined by the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner. Joel, how is it to be here at Go Pro Wrestling? Professional wrestling, I should say.
I go big every time I go, everywhere I go, no matter how I go. But man, go big or go home, Go Professional Wrestling. The pre-show was off the chain, and this lineup, I am so excited.
Saieve Al Sabah in the ring, looking for his opponent to make his way down the aisle right now, and it's about to happen. This match is going to kick things off on the main show here in the way that we would expect nothing less from Go Professional Wrestling. Ace Austin is here. He is in the house.
Wow. Al Sabah, a little methodical, right? A little bit kind of a slow drip around ringside as he was coming out, just kind of getting into things and really kind of, and then you see Austin come out and just a blaze, just a ball of fire right through the ropes, and he's ready to get this thing on.
I don't want to alert you now, but it looks like we got a little bit of magic going on in the ring. I didn't see him enter with that staff.
Introducing first, to my left, fighting out of Spring Valley, New York. He weighs in at 215 pounds. He is the child of the 8th day, Saieve Al Sabah. And his opponent to my right, from Atlantic City, New Jersey. He weighs in at 190 pounds. He is the one true ace, Ace Austin.
Both men in this match, incredibly gifted in the ring. Ace Austin, obviously the better known high flyer, and that is the opening bell for Go Big or Go Home, Joel.
It's amazing. Both these guys can go. We'll tell you more about these guys as the match goes on, but some top flight talent right here in the opening match.
Every match on the show here tonight, every match in the card could easily be a main event on any show in the world, and that is what makes this event, Go Big or Go Home, so special. And it was planned. That's not a coincidence. They went out, the people at Go Professional Wrestling went out and they found the best of the best on the independent wrestling scene, as well as some who are about to say goodbye to the independent wrestling scene as they head off to AEW, and we'll talk more about that later on. But right now, we have a test of strength as both men are locked up. But it looks like Saieve has won the test here.
For now, he's in full control.
But Ace Austin catches him behind the knee, works him down, and just like that, Austin is in charge. He is taking control of the match.
Austin's an amazing competitor, and he'll beat some opponents in closer to 11 minutes, and he'll beat some of them in closer to 1 minute. He can do that. He can do whatever he wants. He's the ace.
Well, as we've already passed the 1 minute mark here, it looks like, not to take anything away from Ace Austin, but Al Sabah is definitely not the type of guy to go down in 1 minute.
No,
rear waist lock.
Yeah, that won't happen. Even if a minute or so hadn't gone by, I would tell you that won't happen.
Beautiful roll through as he grabs onto that wrist lock on Ace Austin. Ooh, Austin actually caught him with I don't know if you saw that, a little bit of a forearm shot to the jaw as he tried to reverse that into a headlock. Headlock takedown, beautiful. As he sits out on that, really putting all of his pressure with his latissimus dorsi, if you will, right down onto the chest of Al Sabah. And rolls in for, I'm going to tell you, just when you think that one of these men is taking control, Joel, the other one instantly back in control.
Oh, it's been back and forth. It's been back and forth. But both of these guys tearing up major promotions, tearing up the entire independent circuit, virtually nationwide. I mean, these guys, you're seeing them everywhere. You're seeing a guy like, let's talk about Al Sabah, a Floridian force, a future global star, holds a couple of titles in the Sunshine State.
And has a heck of a shoulder tackle to boot.
And trained by Bubba and Devon at the 3D Academy.
Well, that's two people that you're very well familiar
I'm a Dudley,
with.
as you know. I went through the whole naming ceremony and everything. It's not at all similar to a christening, and it's a uniquely unpleasant ceremony. A lot of banjo playing, and I'd prefer you didn't ask me about the rest.
I heard rumor that it's very similar to a bris.
Shalom.
Now then. Ace Austin attempts to send up, but nope, we got a turnaround there. Look at that. Just brute force to break up that whip off the ropes there. And holds on to those ropes and working over. Al Sabah definitely.
That hurt both guys. Al Sabah willing to put his own arm on the line to try to get a level of momentum, a level of leverage.
His focus has heavily been on the wrist and forearm area of Ace Austin, which is not necessarily an area that a competitor is usually prepared to be defending against in a match. Normally someone's going for a knee, they're maybe going for a shoulder. He was really working on that wrist.
Austin's leaving nothing off the table.
Oh, beautiful spin there, kicking out Ace Austin. This is not exactly, and again, going right after that wrist.
I don't think one man in this match has had more than 1 minute in the time of possession clock since the match began. I mean, it's
right.
that flurry.
I think you're right. This is this is the definition of a back and forth wrestling match. All right, and now, and see, yelling at the crowd isn't going to do you any favors as Ace Austin took that opportunity when Al Sabah's head was turned to give him a shot to the midsection. That hand, that wrist of Ace Austin definitely affecting him. You saw when he first came into the ring, he was even spinning around just on one hand, showing off his athletic ability. So maybe that's something that Al Sabah looked at and said, you know what, I'm going to take his hand out from under him. Maybe that's going to take away some of his offense.
It ain't all flash and magic with Ace Austin. He's no weakling, and he is ready. He's not squeamish. He came up in Combat Zone Wrestling, right? Graduated from the CZW dojo, and now one count there, and now you're seeing him in Impact, you're seeing him in MLW, House of Hardcore, and he's down in Florida himself in WXW, and
I feel
also
like they're not hanging out together down there.
No, not at all, and also AAA. So I mean, he's all over Ace Austin. You never know where you see him next.
I'm noticing now as Saieve Al Sabah continues to work on that wrist, but there's actually something wrapped around. At first, I just thought it was a glove, but now I'm wondering if maybe there was a previous injury to the wrist of Ace Austin, and that is why it's being whoa!
Didn't stop him from throwing him out like magic, though, didn't it?
No, not at all. And I from our vantage point, it's tough to see, but we do see, okay, Sabah's moving. And here, and okay, as he just said, I only need one hand, and well.
Physical magic. Sleight of hand, sleight of leg, sleight of everything.
There was nothing slight about
sleight
that
of
leg
body.
as it just
he performed
connected
sleight
with
of
Al
body. In a day where we debate whether pro wrestling is performance art or not, this man is a physical magician.
Absolutely. He is putting on quite the performance here tonight. Nothing flashy about that boot right to Al Sabah's face. Ace Austin breaks the count. He's in the ring. The referee needs to stay on top of them with that count as the count has begun once again. And and just when it looked like Ace Austin had taken control, Saieve Al Sabah uses the ring post to his advantage, and again, putting the punishment to the wrist and hand of Ace Austin. Going for a cover, one.
This is a fun one to
Barely
watch
one.
because, look, they've been beating the hell out of each other for 10 minutes, and we're at 1 counts. I mean, this is a fun one to watch because it's going back and forth. It's fast-paced.
It's anybody's guess. I would have to say that Ace Austin looks to have maybe taken the, wow! Look at that suplex. He caught Ace Austin's arm in somewhat of a chicken wing behind him so that he actually suplexed him on to his already damaged wrist and hand.
Supremely well executed.
I mean, yeah, beautifully done. I mean, you have to feel for Ace Austin in this, but beautifully done by Saieve Al Sabah.
Well, Ace Austin knew what he was getting himself into.
And again, look at that, stepping on the hand. And you know what? This is tough to watch, but there is nothing illegal about what he's doing right now,
Not
Joe.
at all. Not at all.
But again, it doesn't make it any easier to watch. Wow. That was kind of a corkscrew splash, I would say, from standing on his hand to a corkscrew splash, and only a
Barely
two count
a 2
at this
count.
point.
Yep.
Yes, barely. But at this point in time, I know he's frustrated, but Al Sabah needs to stay on Ace Austin because, as you had mentioned earlier, this had been maybe a minute of one in control, then flip to the next one for another minute, and back and forth and back and forth, and up. Too many times to the wishing well.
On another show, this could be a featured match. This could be a co-main event. This could be on another show. In the state of Florida, this could be you could go to the show on Saturday night. This is your main event. Tonight at Go Big or Go Home, it's our opening match to get the crowd pumped for everything we have tonight.
Yeah, and it's hard to imagine watching this match that anything could follow this, but everything that follows
Has
this
to
is
follow
going.
this.
Yeah, everything has to.
Everybody's got their boots laced tight. I'm talking to people in the back before the show. Everybody's ready.
Beautiful kick, Ace Austin once again taking control, and that's what happens when Saieve Al Sabah took a little bit too much time to vent his frustration. And now, wow, beautiful slam there to the mat, rolls him all the way through just so that he can give him a little kiss with the boot right on the side of his head. Ace Austin firmly in control, but again, needs to stay on top. Good, needs to stay on top of him. Looked like he had him, hooks him up and slams him right down. Front face lock to a slam. Innovative moves here as well. Ace Austin with a vicious neck breaker over the top there, and that's got to be it. And that is it. Ace Austin picks up a victory in an otherwise 50-50 match.
Your winner, the one true ace, Ace Austin.
Joel, had that gone to judge's decision, I don't know who would have picked up that victory, but it didn't. Ace Austin won.
Not to come full circle, but again, like a 1 or like an 11, that entire match could have gone either way. But it was Ace Austin who performed physical magic at the end to get a victory.
Well, abracadabra, Ace Austin is your winner of this match. What a way to start Go Big or Go Home, the debut show of Go Professional Wrestling. What an incredible match, and it looks like right now Candace is waiting to catch a word with our winner, Ace Austin.
With the true ace himself, Ace Austin, congrats on an incredible win. What was the mentality going into tonight? You know, new company, new crowd. What did you feel you needed to prove?
Well, this is Jersey. It's kind of my home. Kind of where my roots are in wrestling. But mentality, I mean, I think I sprained this hand 2 weeks ago, and every match I've had since has just been, everybody sees it as a weakness, and everybody has to go for it. So it's just trying to protect this hand and do what I do. I can do whatever. One-handed, I got fancy feet, you know?
Nothing weak about that. Congrats on your win. Back to our commentary team.
Thank you very much, Candace. Great words by Ace Austin. Hello, everybody. Again, I'm Josh Chernoff, and I am joined by the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner. Joel, what an opening match here at Go Professional Wrestling's debut event, go big or go home.
It was amazing, and you know, as we were talking about during the match, on another show, that could have been a featured match, a co-main event, a main event, like we just said.
And coming up next, we have a matchup that has recently been updated, enhanced, we'll say. Anthony Bowens will face MV Young, and we are getting word now that it will be for the Battle Club Pro Heavyweight title.
With the following contest scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Battle Club Pro Franchise Championship.
Here we go, the second match of the evening. Making his way to the ring right now, you got MV Young.
There's no escaping the American attraction. A bait and switch that's gonna thrill you with distraction. It sounds so good you can't resist the satisfaction. When it's all over, you'll be crying, I'll be laughing.
What do you think the MV stands for? Bowens not happy with the response and gets a better one the second time. But no, I don't know, Joel, that did it for him. The crowd here in Wayne, New Jersey is going to have to give it their all if they want to see Anthony Bowens.
I know what the MV stands for.
Oh, have you been thinking about this whole time? All right.
I think he'd like it to stand for Match Victorious. Match
it remains to be seen. Back of his trunks read American Attraction.
While I can't tell you what MV stands for, I do know, you know, most importantly, the first rule of Battle Club Franchise Championship.
Introducing first
rule of Battle
is
Club
the
Franchise Championship is that there is no Battle
to
Club.
my right, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He weighs in tonight at 200 pounds. He is the American Attraction, MV Young.
All kidding aside, there is a Battle Club Franchise Championship, and MV Young hopes to be match victorious in winning
to my
it.
left, fighting out of Nutley, New Jersey. He weighs in tonight at 225 pounds. He is the 5-tool player, and he is the current reigning and defending Battle Club Pro Franchise Champion, Anthony Bowens.
I'll put it back on you, Josh Chernoff.
Please.
So says you. What are the 5?
Well, maybe he's talking about the 5 moves of doom that he's going to bring to MV Young. I couldn't tell you. Do you know?
It could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 1, but he hopes to bring however many moves of doom it takes to retain the Battle Club Franchise Championship.
Something tells me that he is up for the challenge. As the second match of the evening is underway. MV Young definitely bringing a cocky. Okay.
Little name calling.
Yeah, not mincing any words there. And Bowens is not going to stand for any of that. And a shove back and forth. A shove is not going to get you a victory. Oh, wow. A spit right to the face. I got to tell you, if someone spit in my face, I'm not sure that I would enter into a collar and elbow tie-up with them right away. But
God, if only I had 5 tools. Because figure, if I've been with 5 women at once, if I had 5, well, you do the math.
I'd rather not. Float over there. Leapfrog. And somersault over. Flips around. This is a little bit too quick for me to even call here. Another leapfrog. Turnabout's fair play. And
don't blame them for your incompetence.
Oh, and a vicious drop kick. Another one, and both men thinking the same thing. We got a bit of a standoff here, Joel. Or I guess a kneel off.
A kneel off, and it was going back and forth. It was a shove off, and now it's a kneel off. Neither man has control.
We saw this in the first match with Ace Austin and Saieve Al Sabah, this back and forth style, and that's what happens when these aren't a bunch of squash matches here where you've got a guy just giving it his all against a well-established athlete, and you know you can predict who is more than likely 9 times out of 10 going to come out victorious. This is the top, the best of independent wrestling against each other.
Listen,
it's anyone's ball game.
When it comes to talent acquisition for this show, the booking committee must be applauded. Not only do we have the best talent, the best of the best, everyone that's available is here at the top level, but like you said, there are no squash matches. You're getting these back and forth scenarios, especially early in these matches, because these matches are so evenly keeled.
Yes. Not only getting to piggyback off of what you just said, it's not only about necessarily getting the best talent, but the matchups tonight as well. We have so many great matches here to come. And to tell you a little bit about go big or go home, and the fact that this talent, so many of them that are about to debut on AEW show Dynamite on TNT, that they picked this show. This talent could have gone anywhere in independent wrestling for their final independent show in front of a crowd like this here in Wayne, New Jersey. And they chose to be here because they believe in what this promotion is putting on, and what they're putting on is top-tier talent and top-tier matches, and that's what we're watching right here tonight.
Yeah, man, the booming metropolis of Wayne, New Jersey. You know what I mean? The Garden State, God bless it. And all these people, whether they're from Florida, Atlantic City, Las Vegas, no matter where they're from, this, for their last hurrah, is where they are tonight. It's a testament to this promotion and to this mega event here on Fight.
Absolutely. You know, I have actually heard that New Jersey is in the shadow of New York City.
We're in the footsteps.
Said that once.
We are in the footsteps of New York City.
Yeah, the footsteps, as in the steps that you have to take before entering New York City. All right, going for a cover right now as we get back to the action here. From our vantage point, it's kind of tough to see what we have here, but it looks like we have somewhat of a headlock.
MV Young.
MV Young with a headlock. Yes, absolutely has a headlock on Bowens, and Bowens back up to his feet with a couple of forearms right to the midsection, but that couple of chops here, more than a couple, and, well, it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, and off the ropes, and ducks under a clothesline, off the ropes again. Bowens ducks that one and catches a beautiful kick right under the jaw, but leaves MV Young standing, scoops him up into a brainbuster right there. Cover, 2.
I don't mean to be that guy, but I think what's good for the gander is good for the gander.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but one would have to assume that the goose also might have good taste and chooses something that would be both appropriate for a goose and a gander in
Here's
this
what
scenario.
one doesn't need to assume. MV Young, this is a man who is still on his journey, well on his way.
Chop in the corner here. Oh, gets out from underneath. Oh!
And now, seemingly, perhaps taking control.
Look at the strength from MV Young. Deadlifts him into a German suplex and a kick. Bowens tried to get those hands up, but I'm not sure that worked. And a deep half Nelson suplex. Cover, and only a 2.
And if you question MV Young, look to his trainers, right? Look at my trainers, and you'll get a good sense of who I am. His trainers, think about this. Lince Dorado, Scott Hall, and Larry Zbyszko.
Wow.
It's like you're looking at like a flyer for something like StarCast.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
what you're looking at there is that he has learned something about every style, about every time period in this business that he could possibly learn from.
I mean, how well-versed must he be?
Well-versed enough to kick out at 2. Anthony Bowens talking about how close he was to victory, but I would suggest right now he stay on top of his opponent. Oftentimes, frustration gets in the way and gives the opponent an opportunity to just do exactly what's happening right now with MV Young taking control with a cover and a kick out at 2.
Now, the kidding about New Jersey aside, Anthony Bowens, 6 years in, talking about New Jersey and people who've had influence here, he's trained by Dan Maff and Pat Buck. He also played some college baseball.
Okay, well, hey, he's an athlete through and through. Pat Buck recently went to work for the WWE. I've known Pat for a number of years. Great in-ring technician, but possibly even a better mind for this business. So again, you're talking about somebody that has learned from someone who is well-versed in the business of professional wrestling.
No doubt.
And just like that, out of nowhere.
Here's your winner and
It bees that way sometimes.
Battle Club Pro franchise champion, the 5-tool player, Anthony Bowens.
I'm not sure how many of those tools we got to see here tonight, but
he got him clean, fair, and square. He finessed him.
We were here talking about how both men had so much they were bringing to the table, and just like that, the match is over. Anthony Bowens still your Battle Club Pro franchise champion. And a valiant effort, unquestionably, by MV Young, who I hope lives to fight another day. He has not gotten off the mat just yet.
Who I hope isn't injured, right? Because he not only got MV Young very stealthily and surreptitiously, but he got him good. MV Young's still not up to his feet yet.
What a match that was that we just witnessed here tonight. Still champion Anthony Bowens. We have so much. I'm looking at my notes here in front of me. Joel, the matches, the stars, the level of athlete here from independent wrestling continues, and it continues next. Our next match features Richard Holliday versus a second-generation wrestler, Brian Pillman Jr. Now, you've seen them in MLW tearing it up. Of course, the Harts and the Dynasty going head-to-head. But tonight we're going to see here at Go Professional Wrestling, Go Big or Go Home, we are going to see perhaps a rubber match. Richard Holliday versus Brian Pillman Jr.
Hey, it's not only the best talent, but it's also from everywhere. It's multi-promotional. And yes, this, a showcase of primarily MLW talent. If you're a fan, if you're familiar with MLW, you're going to love this one.
Absolutely. Back up to ringside.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me.
I have high expectations for this match, as I do every match on the card here, Joel. Richard Holliday and Brian Pillman Jr., as we mentioned before, no strangers to one another. As Holliday makes his way to the ring.
Do you understand? I hate to belabor the point, right? We don't need to come full circle all the time. Sometimes you talk about it, you've talked about it, it's done. But going back to a match or two ago, when we said that we couldn't believe that we had been blessed with such an opening match, right? Think about the fact that this match between former MLW Tag Team Champions is simply the third match on this show. This could be a main event in MLW, and they tore everywhere. So
Consumers.
literally anywhere in the world, this could be a main event.
Don't worry about it,
gonna
man.
argue that one bit.
Consumers. I know it's a little intimidating to see larger-than-life television superstars in person. But trust me when I say, if you come to my 8x10 stand over there, I will be more than accommodating to you at intermission.
Well, that's very kind of Richard Holliday. I'm sure there's going to be a high premium to that accommodation. As the
I'm not sure what that math equation means, sir, but please, just be quiet. You see, GoPro Professional Wrestling decided to excuse me, sir? Don't cut me off when I'm talking. Decided to run their first show. And of course, from a marketing perspective, the smart thing to do
crowd getting on Richard Holliday's nerves here.
The smart thing to do would be to hire the most marketable man in wrestling, MLW superstar, Richard Holliday.
He should know. He's
Now
got a
this
degree
evening
in
I'm
marketing.
going up one-on-one
Is that true?
against second-rate, second-generation superstar Brian Pillman Jr.
I don't know if that was a Freudian slip right there or
I think
an
that
insult.
was intended and
Now
meant.
that was just stupid, honestly. You lost your flow there, man.
He's having some
But
fun
tonight,
with the fans, but
the consumers, all of you, are going to be absolute.
all right, I know that music.
And the office or his opponent had enough.
Yeah, something tells me that Brian Pillman Jr. was tired of waiting around. This kid, we mentioned, second generation star. His father, of course, the late Brian Pillman, Flying Brian, the loose cannon. You spent some time with Brian Pillman. Is this a chip off the old block?
I think he's just about as crazy, yeah. And just about as talented. You know, you can't help who your parents are. You can't pick your family. But not only is he the son of Brian Pillman, he was trained by Lance Storm.
First to my left, fighting out of New Haven, Connecticut. He weighs in at 241 pounds. He is the most marketable man in wrestling. And the promoter's best friend. And the consumer's champion, Richard Holliday.
It's amazing Mark Haggerty was able to remember all of that. No assistance whatsoever.
I think he's got something in his ear, but then that could just be earwax.
His
I'm not
opponent.
Something, someone.
To my right, fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He weighs in tonight at 220 pounds. He is the promised prince, Brian Pillman Jr.
Brian Pillman Jr., you mentioned before the talent. You mentioned him being trained by Lance Storm.
And gifts, man, just gifts, just talents. You know, his lineage, his legacy, that goes without saying. But beyond his pedigree and his last name, gifts.
Yes. Without question, Brian Pillman Jr. is a talented in-ring performer and athlete. But let's not take anything away from his opponent tonight, Richard Holliday, who's taking a nice stroll around ringside.
Sometimes when you have an idea, he might have an idea of a way to get at Pillman. And sometimes when you have an idea in the corporate world, you take that idea for a walk. He happens to be taking that walk outside the ring.
Well said. And look, playing mind games with somebody, or at this point in time, basically just trying to freeze him out. Brian Pillman Jr. ready to go, and he's just going to stop him right there, and maybe that makes Brian Pillman have to rethink what he's doing. And Pillman Jr. right there went for a headlock, but was caught into a top wrist lock there. Oh. Vicious right there. Pulled that bicep right down into Pillman's own shoulder. And he's got that wrist, but Holliday rolls through. Kip up. And reversal.
These guys have a ton of history. What if I told you that Pillman's only really been in the business full-time, dedicated, for about 2 years, and Holliday for only 4 years? So these guys are rookies, and it is unbelievable.
Because again, and we have, maybe we've belabored this point. We're not trying to sell you. You're already watching the show. We're not trying to sell you on it. We're just as excited as you are about the quality of matches here. This could be a main event anywhere. Every show, every match on the show is top quality, and right now we are seeing two athletes who are arguably years away from reaching their prime in the ring right now at the top of their current game for sure. Float over by Holliday. Oh, attempts a leapfrog, but is caught with a slap to the face instead.
We've alluded to it already. It's like a three-pronged fork. When you've got top talent, when you've got evenly booked dream matches, and when you've got something that's multi-promotional, that's the definition of a supercard.
Absolutely. And Brian Pillman Jr. just kind of standing there accepting these slaps to the face. You talked about it was a little crazy. But I feel like maybe that's a setup. Yep, bit of a setup. Oh, he puts his own hand on his face. And a stiff chop. And another one. Oh. And a third one for good measure. Brian Pillman Jr. Oh, no, he shouldn't have listened to the crowd there, perhaps. The crowd got the chop they were waiting for, but it wasn't the one they had hoped, I suppose. And another chop in the corner. Brian Pillman Jr. sent off the ropes with a reversal. Holliday into the corner, and wow! Did you hear the connection of that clothesline in the corner? Takes Holliday off his feet. Tries to, wow, look at that. Tries to cover up from a drop kick. Brian Pillman Jr. stops in midair and just slaps him right across the face.
No matter what your last name, it's not a Holliday when you get assaulted like that by Brian Pillman Jr.
That is for sure. Oh, jumps over and a mule kick. Catches Holliday outside the ring, and Pillman goes to join him.
These guys, a lot of history, man, in MLW. Their teams, the New Era Hart Foundation and the Dynasty, back and forth for those MLW tag team titles.
Yes, there is. We talked about the talent on this show. Stiff uppercut by Brian Pillman Jr. to Richard Holliday. The talent on this show, to be a part of a group. I'm just talking about Brian Pillman Jr. right now, but to be a part of a group that acknowledges that second or third generation lineage that you have, to refer to yourself, whether it's a New Generation Hart Foundation or a Hart Foundation in general, to use that, what you're doing is you're telling the fans, hey, this is who we are, and feel free to judge us at that standard, at that level. And that takes some guts and some talent.
Gosh!
Drop kick right to Brian Pillman Jr. as he tried to springboard off that top rope, and I hope he's all right out there.
I was about to say, can't tell from our vantage point from where we're seated, but it could be that he took a nasty fall because I haven't seen him for quite a few seconds now. Finally making his way back up.
There's a possibility that he's also
and then he's down again,
taking this opportunity to utilize the entirety of the 10 count, or perhaps just 9 seconds of it. Unfortunately, I feel like that was more a necessity and not a game plan. As he's sent back to the outside is Brian Pillman Jr. by Richard Holliday, and right into that unforgiving post. I'll tell you, we talked about our vantage point. From our vantage point, I was able to see the small of Brian Pillman Jr.'s back rammed right into there.
Yeah, man, just spine first.
Joe, what do you do in an instance like this? Brian Pillman is down. He doesn't want to be out. What does he do? Just having the the will isn't going to be enough, perhaps. What can he do? What about Richard Holliday can he try to take advantage of to get back in control of this match?
Well, while your mind is racing and you're down and you're trying to think about how to regain control, you think about things like exploiting weakness, but that's tough to do, again, when you're in a position of being the man that's on defense. It's tough.
Do you think maybe right now with these chops, we've talked about them, there's that high-pitched sound of a chop that, didn't work out for him, goes for it again. Oh! That was a shot right beneath the jaw, and that might be it, but still a 1 count. That rocked Brian Pillman Jr. for a second there, but he is where? Oh my God! Did you see that backbreaker?
Yeah, and that's smart. Absolutely, and that's smart by Holliday. Keep working that back.
I was going to say before that Richard Holliday was taking too much time just to try and punish him with a couple of chops to the chest, but it looks like he knows what he's doing. Who am I to question? Right. Richard Holliday with a stomp right to the chest. That's going to knock the wind right out of.
Sometimes something that's done is better than something that's perfect. It's that chop that lands that's definitely better than that chop that's thrown with vicious, malicious intent but doesn't connect.
Well said. Speaking of connecting chops, there's 2 of them for you. Ooh. Oh, man. Ripping those pectorals apart. Duck under by Pillman and caught with a spine buster, of course. Shades of AA Arn Anderson. That beautiful turnaround spine buster. And got him in a rear chin lock.
So what could come next? Is he thinking about back breakers? Is he thinking about a Boston Crab? What can he do that he hasn't yet done to continue? Because now 3 times in a major way, he's really, really tried to affect the back and the spine of Brian Pillman Jr.
You talked about zeroing in on a specific body part. That is exactly what Richard Holliday is doing. He has obviously chosen this game plan of attacking the low back of Brian Pillman Jr., but I think what he was doing there is maybe trying to catch his own breath. But look, gut wrench suplex, maybe not. Didn't work out for him. A couple of stiff shots from Brian Pillman Jr. That sounds like a chop, but he is hitting him with the palm of his hand right there. There's gonna be a thud and flying forearm. Pillman stays on his feet, however. And he's about to send, reversal. Pillman into the corner. Holliday catches a knee for his troubles. And Pillman asks the crowd if they'd like him to fly like his father before him with a flying clothesline. And Brian Pillman Jr. hooks the leg, 2 and only a 2. That was, I'm not going to call that a lazy cover, but that was a relaxed cover. When you pin somebody, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your chest down on their chest and put your head up and put as much pressure as you can down. Unfortunately, when you're laying on your back, that you're not going to get the same effect with that pinfall.
What about 2/3 of the way across the ring from that top rope? Did you see it?
I was impressive.
As tall as he is, as big as he is, 2/3 of the way across the ring from balancing on the top rope. If the ring's 18 by 18, what's 2/3 of it? 12? That's 12 feet that he projected himself from having first to just balance and get on that top rope. That's not something everybody can do.
I would say twice, if not over twice, his own height. He went flying across the ring. And we're up on the we're up in the high rent district here. Holliday looking for a superplex, but it is suplex off the second rope. But I don't know that Pillman's going to let him do it. And Holliday lost his footing, and he's down. And Pillman going right back up to that top rope where he is most comfortable. Again, right across the ring with a flying crossbody, and that has got to be it. No.
He's doing all this with a weakened back, with a compromised back. You see what's going on?
You talked about him going
with a compromise. Everything he's doing right now is since he took all that major impact to his back. When your back hurts, if you've got sciatica, if you've got any kind of back pain, you threw your back out. Try doing the dishes with your back. Try feeding the cat with your back. And if you're not familiar with the sexual reference feeding the cat, if you have a pet cat, try feeding the cat with your back. It's hard when you're in back pain to do anything. This man is winning right now this professional wrestling match.
There was a lot to unpack in that statement, but the majority of that was very valid, very true. It's Pillman now. He might not be winning this professional wrestling match. A quick roll up, but no, he's out. But no, you make a very
majority.
Good point.
What? There is a sexual reference called Feed and Get.
I believe. Not only do I believe you. Oh, that might be it. I think that is it. Pillman's down. No, Brian Pillman Jr. kicks out again.
With a bad back.
With a bad
kicks
back.
250 pounds of human being off of his body.
Incredibly impressive. You know, I said before that maybe just his will alone wasn't going to do it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have been questioning the intestinal fortitude of Brian Pillman Jr., who right now is getting, I was going to say was getting some much-needed rest while Holliday argued with the referee. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough rest, and he is now, some might say a mud hole was being stomped right there in the corner. Well, you do not want to mess with this referee, and I think Richard Holliday is figuring that out right now.
Well, what Richard Holliday should be worried about and figuring out is how to keep going after every body part, and especially the back of Brian Pillman. And if you think he can't do it, he was an offensive lineman in college while he was getting that marketing degree.
Oh! Vicious clothesline almost takes Pillman's head off. Holliday going for that gut wrench suplex that he attempted earlier into a gut wrench power bomb. And the cover, and that is it for Brian Pillman Jr.
Got him.
I had hoped that he was going to cut me off on that again, but that was it.
Here is your winner, the most marketable man in
Wow.
wrestling, a promoter's best friend, and the consumer's champion, Richard Holliday.
Well, we are all consumers in a capitalist society, so that makes him the people's champion, I guess. Which people, I'm not exactly sure. Not these people, not here tonight, but a victory is what absolutely did happen here tonight for the corporate man, Richard Holliday.
Richard Holliday victorious. Brian Pillman Jr. in the ring, still on the mat. What an incredible night of action we have had so far. That match, every match before it, could have been a main event. We still have more to come. Folks, coming up next, Matt Macintosh will face Kip Sabian in what is to be Kip Sabian's final independent wrestling appearance before heading off to AEW on TNT.
Yeah, that's a huge coup. And I mean, he's not the only one, but he's a great example. He's an epitome of it being a coup that so many are having their last hurrah here at Go Big or Go Home.
You can call it a coup by Go Professional Wrestling, but I think it also speaks heavily to how the talent feels about Go Big or Go Home and this event here. They want this to be their send-off, and nobody, Kip Sabian specifically, wants to head out of the independent wrestling scene with a loss. Let's see what happens. We're going to head back up to Mark Haggerty in the ring. Take it away, Mark.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gonna do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes, tell me everything's not fine. All the people ain't happy.
What am I looking at?
Has run dry. You thought you could go free, but the system is done for. If you listen real closely,
You're at a professional wrestling show.
I was more referencing the attire that's being worn to the ring right now. And the mask comes off. And wouldn't you know it, Matt Macintosh, dressed for an evening out to a luchador restaurant, I
Dressed as
suppose.
his alter ego, the Masked Manzana. The Masked Manzana. La Manzana Mascara.
And here he comes, making his final appearance on the independent professional wrestling scene. Kip Sabian, everybody. Super bad.
He's going to be AEW exclusive. AEW contract player for Kip Sabian, also leaving nothing on the table like any of the talent tonight. But for him, it's go big and stay big. That's what he's got to be focused on.
Kip Sabian is just days away from AEW's debut on TNT. That is huge. But you can tell by the way he is carrying himself to the ring, he is not taking this match lightly. This is his send-off. This is it. You think he wants to walk into the AEW locker room on Wednesday night with his head held down?
You think he should take lightly speaking of Jersey, a pro wrestling syndicate champion, a Wrestle Pro champion. He held the ECPW light heavyweight title for over 2 years. He's not just one bad apple.
First,
he's the bad apple.
To my right, fighting out of the rotten orchard. He weighs in tonight at 213 pounds, the bad apple, Matt Macintosh. And his opponent to my left, fighting out of Galston, England. He weighs in tonight at 182 pounds. He is super bad, super bad, super bad, Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian testing the limits of Mark Haggerty's voice. Haggerty delivering as always. The referee checking for some sort of something in there. There's conversation about a bazooka, I believe.
We're seeing right now tonight, maybe for the first time one-on-one, we're seeing light heavyweight action, cruiserweight action, junior action, whatever you want to call it. But just when you see these guys and when you see Macintosh and when you see him disrobe, you're going to see these guys, and when you see them in there battling it out against each other, you will see that when you're out on the street, keep an eye, you'll see a lot of 190-pound men. But you won't see a lot of 190-pound men that are put together and can go like Matt Macintosh and Kip Sabian.
Very well said, Joel. As Kip sitting down on the job here, waiting patiently as Matt Macintosh disrobes. I mean, he is really, I don't know if his game plan here is a time limit draw, but he is taking his time, removing his belt, and Sabian back up. He's going to take, oh, that didn't work out. Thought he was going to roll him up and got his pants instead. Oh, that's upsetting to see. Duck under again. Leapfrog over, duck under again. Baseball slide through the legs. Kip off the ropes. Beautiful. Wow, I am tongue-tied here. The action so fast, vicious. Dropkick sends the bad apple down. Sabian with a forehead to the midsection right there. Sends him off the ropes. Oh, duck under there. Kip goes for it. Oh, he's caught. Bad apple calling out his own name. Does a double roll there. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, my. That is unfortunate to see.
Referee manipulation. In this match, with Kip Sabian, trained by the Knight family, you'll probably see things like small joint manipulation. You might see muscle manipulation.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know that it's for us to say whether or not that was a small joint, but he just...
You're reading my playbook, isn't it?
It's a good read, Joel. Snapmare takeover, and... Oh!
There you go. Manipulation, leverage.
Manipulation of both the ears and of the neck, of course. But that you can get some cauliflower ear out of that.
Both these guys are super smart. Both these guys, again, 180, 190 pounds maybe. You could take the number of men 250 plus that they've beaten, and you can make a phone book out of it.
Stiff shot there by Macintosh. Macintosh now with a double, taking advantage of that 5 count. The referee reprimanding Macintosh. Macintosh doesn't seem to care. As Kip Sabian. So you say Sabian, I say Sabin. I know it's Sabian.
Well, if you know it's Sabian, then why aren't you just saying you see, but look what you just did.
Because I don't know. I don't know what I do, Joel. But I'll tell you one thing. Might pronounce his name poorly right now, but the way his star is rising, he's going to be a household name in just a matter of days. Maybe, unless he suffers a career-ending injury, as the bad apple steps on the, well, plums, if you will, of Kip Sabian, and vicious kick, double drop kick.
You think he wants to go into his first appearance on Dynamite with a loss to Matt Macintosh?
Not at all.
A guy that could definitely hand him that loss, because fans in this New York, New Jersey area know that Macintosh is a guy that has recent wins over Super Crazy and Rich Swann, who he beat in a 3-way match on a day where he wrestled another event that same day.
An impressive resume for both of these men, without question, as the bad apple sends Kip to the outside. Via the post, I should say. Shoulder first into the ring post and then to the outside.
And Sabian, like you asked about Pillman in the last match, is he taking these full 10 seconds because he wants to, or is he taking them because he needs it?
I think, unfortunately, at this point, I think it's because he needs it. He hit that post hard. But Sabian back in the ring, super bad, trying to get back to his feet, using the ropes for leverage. And he's back up, and now up.
Super bad at this very moment, not doing so super great.
Over the top rope, off the ropes. Nope, didn't work out. Oh.
And just like that.
Well scouted, and it looks like Super Bad is going to fly over the top.
Wow.
Let me ask you something, Joel. Does it look like he's phoning it in on his final independent wrestling appearance?
Absolutely not.
Not at all. Phoning it in is not a phrase that Kip Sabian is familiar with. Springboard off the top rope with a missile drop kick, takes the bad apple down. Cover, 2. Not enough.
We've told you what to expect from Kip Sabian in the future. AEW, we haven't told you that he's embarking upon his 10th year in the wrestling business, trained by the renowned Knight family. Talking about Ricky Knight, talking about Paige. And competed throughout England and Europe, capturing various titles, including the IPW UK Championship and the World of Sport Tag Team Championship.
A very talented individual right now is trying to catch his breath as he just took a shot, a right fist to the throat. Referee trying to get in the way, but that referee... and Macintosh taking this opportunity to reprimand the referee for putting his hands on Macintosh. Sabian back up. He is taking abuse that is not appropriate in the wrestling ring. I mean, low blow after low blow, being sent into the ring post. These are not, not something he was necessarily anticipating, but a vicious clothesline, or I'm sorry, pardon me, a vicious forearm. And one right back at him.
Stiff. Right to the jaw.
Oh, you hear that.
That'll rattle your cage.
Rattle everything. Back and forth. I don't know if anyone is going to come out on top of this one, but it looks like Macintosh. Nope, caught, and a stiff knee to the face. And turnabout fair play. As confused as the referee is, it looks like a couple of bad apples just got worse. And a forearm right to the ear. Oh!
You know how sometimes
European uppercut. I'm sorry, Joel.
No, you know how sometimes you take a vacation and you're like, wow, I need a vacation.
From the
right?
vacation?
From the vacation, right?
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you get something like jet lag and it takes a couple of days to recover?
Yes.
In half a week, in like 4 days, Kip Sabian's got stuff to do.
Yes, he does.
How's he going to do that when he's taking shots to the jaw, shots to the throat from Matt Macintosh, who is, don't let the finesse fool you, don't let his size fool you. He is vicious.
Absolutely, and we're seeing that here tonight, but you make a great point. Whoever he is to face in his first match, officially under the AEW banner, you know that that opponent is watching tonight, and you know that they are looking at every single thing that is happening, because right now I don't know who it is. I'm not sure if it's been announced or not yet. I don't know who he will be facing in his first match with AEW, but there's a good chance that that wrestler is already finished up on the independent scene. That wrestler might be well rested, and this is something that Kip Sabian needs to think about here.
Well, Kip Sabian's used to getting surprised at AEW because he was originally supposed to be in the Casino Battle Royal at Double or Nothing. Instead, he wrestled a singles match and beat Sammy Guevara. He's the winner of the first ever singles match in AEW history.
He is no stranger to making history. Can he make history tonight at the debut, the inaugural Go Professional Wrestling show, Go Big or Go Home, as the crowd chants, "This is awesome," showing their respect and appreciation. And yes, I have to agree, Joel, this is awesome.
This Wayne, New Jersey crowd has been into this show all night.
They appreciate the efforts of the athletes in the ring. They appreciate, as we do, everything that they're putting on. Beautiful tornado DDT from the outside in, and that might be it for the Bad Apple. No. 2 3/4 right there.
Matt Macintosh's long hair made it tough for me to tell exactly how much he got on that move,
yes.
But I think it connected at least somewhat.
Macintosh being sent back into the corner and hoisted up onto the top rope by Kip Sabian. Sabian looking for that suplex, looking for that superplex.
You know, if football's a game of inches, wrestling's a game of millimeters. You know, you could be millimeters away from having something that doesn't affect you at all. You can come back and you can win a match after taking it, or it could be a career-ending injury.
Well, very, very well said. Another astute comment by the quintessential stud muffin. Powerbomb, that could be it, folks. 2. Wow.
Sabian coming close now. He can't get frustrated.
Sabian lifts him up for a torture rack here. Into, nope, didn't work out for him. Tucks under a clothesline, does Macintosh. Springboard off the ropes. Oh my God.
I don't know what it was supposed to be into, but I know Matt Macintosh got out of it.
That's it. His foot is under the ropes, ref, but no, the referee couldn't see that, but it didn't matter anyway. Although I think Kip Sabian may have been hoping that the referee would have seen that so he didn't have to exert the energy of kicking out at 2.
Any port in the storm, man. These guys will take any break they can get right now, especially considering who their opponents are.
I thought that was the end of the match. I thought it was the end of Kip Sabian's career, the way he landed there.
Well, that can't happen because Kip Sabian's career has only just begun, both these guys.
Sabian looking for looking to get all of it with that torture rack into a beautiful X Factor.
Planted him.
Cover, 2, 3.
Got him.
Kip Sabian heads off to AEW with a W of his own here at Go Big or Go Home. Congratulations, Superbad. Kip Sabian taking the opportunity to thank the crowd. You know, these intimate, independent wrestling crowds, there's something to that you don't get in an 11,000 seat arena. Not that he shouldn't be excited to be headed where he is headed, but there's absolutely something he is going to miss about being a part of independent professional wrestling. And it looks like we have a celebration of sorts.
Hi, congratulations, Kip, on your beautiful win. First, we want to say thank you so much for coming out to our debut show with GoPro Wrestling. It's been a pleasure. I'll take it away to you, Brittany.
We know you're trying to get that Mountain Dew sponsorship. We can't thank you enough for being here for our big show, for your last indie match. Seriously, thank you so, so much.
And as a token of our appreciation, we have Mountain Dew.
Some people do it for the championship belt. Some people do it for the fame and fortune. Superbad is doing it all for that Mountain Dew sponsorship.
Hey, that's what they say, right? Do the do.
He's doing the do indeed right now in the middle of that ring as he's chugging Mountain Dew. That can't, yeah, that can't be good for you.
If that's the secret to getting a body like that, man, I'll buy a carton.
I think he might be doing something else, Joel. Congratulations to the Superbad himself, headed off to AEW with a victory here at Go Big or Go Home. Coming up, we have, oh gosh, we have a match that's going to take you here, there, and all over the place. Sent to Slaughter will face Bear Country in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This is not going to be for the weak at heart. Joel, I think we should just send it up to ringside.
The cops can't save you. The National Guard can't save you.
20 plus years of getting thrown out of buildings.
The law can't save you. God can't save you from Bear Country.
Because I just don't give two what happens to anybody.
It's not about survival of the fittest. It's about who can take the best shot and keep going. None of us four are coming back the same. We're gonna take you boys down to the promised land. You're not fighting to win. You are fighting to survive. Bear Country, it's time to take that long, long walk down the mecca of manhood. You hit us as hard as you possibly can, because if you don't, you are old school versus new school. You're not legends. You're not icons. You're not vets. You two are obstacles. Obstacles are meant to be overcome, except Sent to Slaughter barrels through obstacles and eats it for breakfast. And like every single obstacle that's been put before Bear Country, we will mow you down. And it's time to find the set of balls that you boys claim that you have. We're not gonna let you or anybody else destroy what we've built. What you built is what I designed from day one. You did it good, but we do it better. I wrote the lyrics to brutality. At the end of the day, tag team wrestling is my mother. Hey! Welcome to our world. Bear Country, big boys, or go on notice. GoPro Wrestling is Bear Country. Sent to Slaughter says, go big. Bear Country says, go home. Falls Count Anywhere.
The following tag team contest, scheduled for one fall, is a Falls Count Anywhere match.
man came from hunting, faint and weary. What is that, my lord, my dearie? Oh, brother dear, let my
Air
bed
Country,
be made.
Bronson and Beefcakes, they're in the ring there, watching Sent to Slaughter make their way to the ring. Sean Donovan, Danny Matt making his way up the steps right now.
The only thing that irks me more than deep planing taking longer than it needs to is rubbernecking. When people just sit on the road on the highway because they want to see just a second of the vicious car crash in front of them. And what we're going to get from these four in a Falls Count Anywhere match is the human version of just that kind of car crash.
Introducing first.
This is going to be violent.
Fighting out of Bear Mountain, New York. They weigh in at a total combined weight of 589 pounds. Bear Bronson, Bear Boulder, Bear Country.
Bronson and Boulder.
And their opponents hailing from the 5th floor of Trump Tower in New York City.
Oh, that didn't.
They weigh
sit
in
well with the
at
crowd.
a total combined weight of 540 pounds. They are the Super Crazy Tag Team Champions, the PPW Tag Team Champions, the USA Pro Tag Team Champions, and the WXWC4 Tag Team Champions. They are the Messiah of Misery, Sean Donovan, the Savant of Butchery, Dan Moff. They are Sent to Slaughter!
I don't know if those are their given names, Joe, but my goodness. Oh, and it looks like the referee right from the start. Oh my
Wow.
God!
That guy used to be a referee.
He used to be able to walk. So, okay. Oh my! Oh, jeez.
All right.
All right, look, we understand this is a Falls Count Anywhere match. This is going to be vicious. This is going to be violent. But are you kidding me?
But not these falls.
Somebody please, I don't know if we need to get security involved, but these referees are clearly not equipped to deal with this. Oh my God, over the top rope. And this match is underway. Not that any rules are Joel, get ready to run.
I will heed that warning. That's good advice.
Oh God, you talk about the different sounds of a chop. That was basically a punch through his heart. Oh my. That is a big bear that just came down on Sent to Slaughter.
This Jersey crowd knows well, and most of the people watching probably know, but for anybody that doesn't, Sent to Slaughter, you're looking at Sean Donovan, who people in this area are well aware of, and Dan Moff. We mentioned he was a trainer of Anthony Bowens.
Yes.
But he also very, very established over the last couple of decades in his own right, also in this region. These two teams have history in beyond wrestling out in New England. There's a lot of history, a lot of bad blood. And also, while I'm giving out facts, as it relates to Bear Country,
we're in the back here. We're blind right now. We do not have a monitor for the back. I don't know what is happening back there.
It's a good thing we have security there, and also maybe half of the referees that were originally intentioned for this one.
Oh, we got some plunder coming. There's a Go Professional Wrestling inspired guitar, it looks like. That's a vacuum cleaner, and that, folks, is a rubber trash can right to the head and right to the shoulder of Sean Donovan. And Joel, cover your eyes. Okay. Wow, he survived that one for a second. I thought, okay.
That's right here in our corner.
That was in the key of G.
We could tell it was about 4 feet away from us.
Oh, my God. And that is some sort of I believe that mop was ordered on QVC and delivered straight to the back of Sean Donovan. Dan Maff is somewhere off with another bear of his own. I have a hard time telling from this vantage point which one's Bear Bronson, which one's Bear Boulder. And does it matter?
I've always been told that a great wrestler could go out and wrestle a broom, but we've got people wrestling mops, guitars.
I'm going to stand up here, try to get a better vantage point. I don't know what is happening.
Make sure you protect us, too. There's $1 million worth of talent at this table and you.
And they're working their way, sent right into the, I mean, this place doubles as a sporting center here. Right now, it looks like Bear Country is firmly in control over Sent to Slaughter. These vicious punches, and again,
are they coming our way?
Right now, they're about to go through some plexiglass.
Because avoid them, I'll disappear. I'll cease to exist. At least I did it to myself.
Joel, I think we need to get moving at this point. We need to get moving, and right out in front of us here. And it looks like, thank you, we've got personnel here from Go Professional Wrestling blocking us. And a low blow, guess what? That's legal. As is I'm not entirely sure what, looks like possibly a piece of a vacuum cleaner, and
it's mayhem.
Sent to Slaughter have turned the tables here. They are firmly in control, though I don't want to say the word tables, give them any ideas. That is a vacuum cleaner. I think it's a Dyson. All right, Donovan marching towards his opponent. And oh my, good God.
I don't know if it's a Dyson, but it just sliced in between his legs and got him in the nuts.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no dancing around that one. That went in and out and everywhere in between. Donovan is feeling the effects of that. If he was a bass, he is very much now a tenor. There we go. Dan Maff up to the top. Off the top rope and caught with a power slam.
You take it to the cojones like that, and if you were a tenor, you're an eighter.
The definition of 6 in one, half a dozen in the other.
Well, it depends how you measure.
Beautiful suplex there. I got to be honest at this point. I'm surprised I'm seeing a wrestling move. I'm surprised I'm seeing any move coming from Sean Donovan after being what can only be described as
what is that?
Impaled. That's a rubber chicken, Joel.
No, it's not.
That appears to be some form
of a variant. It seems to be some sort of variant on a rubber chicken. It looks harder. It looks like if you were going to use a rubber chicken in this match, you would want to use that, not the standard garden variety rubber chicken.
Well, I mean, obviously you are far more well-versed in rubber chickens than I am.
That's at least vulcanized rubber.
Whoa! All right, we have a chicken off here, folks. I have more questions than I have answers right now. And okay. All right. They are beating each other with the chicken.
I'm watching a bear beat up a human with a chicken.
Yeah, that sounds just about right. Oh, got a chicken right to the head. Never thought I'd say that.
Now there's more than one chicken. Don't count your chickens.
Pretty sure Donovan's eggs were hatched earlier, and a spear.
They were scrambled.
As is his midsection right now from that spear, and chicken to the head. Couple of shots to go along with it. Bear Country back in control. I still don't know what bear we're looking at here, but
you're looking at a big one.
That describes either of them for sure. And off to the moonsault. Wow. There it is. The crowd as surprised and impressed as I am here, Joel. A moonsault. Was that from the second rope?
If you have notes, if you have bullet point like a form on your format sheet, could you check, or if you were told by the office during the week, could you check this Falls Count Anywhere? Is that in the building? Is that in Township of Wayne, New Jersey? Is that in Passaic County? Is that in...
With these teams, I would have to suggest this is absolutely anywhere they decide to fight, because are you going to get in the middle of it? I know I'm not. Donovan into the corner.
I wouldn't even talk to these guys.
Forearm.
And I love Dan Moth. Known him for 20 years. I wouldn't even get involved with any of these guys.
And you're a more intelligent man than I'd given you credit for. And the cover, 1, 2. Oh my good. So that is sacrificing his own teammate there to break the count.
Brutal.
Speaking of brutal, there's a brutal chop right to the chest of Dan Maff by, we'll say, Bear Country member number 1. From where we're sitting, it is tough for us to tell, and I apologize, folks. You at home are probably yelling at us right now saying we know which one is Bronson, which one is Boulder. I could just take a 50-50 guess if I want to, and I'm going to say this is Bronson, who just received a kick to the face. And that's only because I assume the bigger man must be the Boulder, but right now, if he wasn't the smaller of the two before, he definitely would be now, as he's got a couple of
How can you tell which of these
S.
guys is smaller? Look, in the last match, right, Kip Sabian and Matt Macintosh, we were talking about 180-pound men.
Yes.
These are not those.
Well, they each have about 180 pounds on their leg.
At least. Look what's going on.
Double forearms and fist to the back. Sending the big bear off the ropes. Breaks right through that double clothesline attempt and a double shoulder tackle. Takes sent to slaughter to the mat. Dan Maff, I don't even know if he knows he's out on his feet. And now he's up on the shoulders of that big bear. Kick right to the midsection. We're going to see a Samoan drop and DDT combo is exciting me in the room tonight. What a massive move from a massive bear. Bear Country needs to stay on top of their opponents. What are we about to see now? Wow! Oh my God, and it's over. Bear Country have picked up a victory.
Bear Bronson, Bear Boulder, Bear Country.
The fall that counted not just anywhere, but it happened to count this time right in the center of the ring.
That's ironic.
That's all it took. When you have that kind of force, when you have one guy of his size with his partner coming down.
What an incredible tag team brawl. There was wrestling involved, but man, you have to, hats off to Bear Country. It was said in the video beforehand that none of them were going to leave the same, and I think that prediction was fulfilled.
I'll tell you this much. The hometown boys, the locals, the flag bearers for this area, this township, this building, these fans, in this match, was sent to slaughter, not Bear Country. This win for Bear Country only exacerbates their rivalry, only enhances their feud, and this is not over.
Not by a long shot. What an incredible match. still to come. We have coming up, Killer Kross is in action against Anthony Henry. That is, man, the hits just keep coming here, and apparently the hits involve chickens, maybe rubber, maybe harder. I'm not one to judge. We have more action. We're going to send it back to ringside right now. Wow, what a match.
Go Pro Wrestling presents Go Big or Go Home continues with the following contest scheduled for one fall. Anthony Henry makes his way to the ring. We are set for more action. Killer Kross versus Anthony Henry. This is, Joel, this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
This is going to be different stylistically, but every bit as powerful and forceful as the match we saw between Bear Country and Senseless Slaughter. But there's going to be a lot more technique to it, less vacuum cleaners, and a lot more really kind of tactical, logistical, and within the rules, mostly, violence.
Kross. It's an amazing thing when a man can wear sunglasses, yet still the look in his eye is terrifying.
Sunglasses at night indoors. You tell him to take them off. Menacing,
no, thank you.
Imposing. Look at that presence.
Look at that sign, Kross is gonna kill you. Well, he didn't get his name for nothing. Killer
Stranger
Kross.
things have happened.
Taking his time, methodically entering the ring here at Go Big or Go Home.
He knows it, man. Match doesn't start until he gets in the ring.
What an intimidating individual. You have to give credit to Anthony Henry for even showing up. And I say that with absolutely nothing but respect for the athlete that Anthony Henry is. But he is in the ring with Killer Kross, and I don't know if he's going to live to regret this.
To my left, fighting out of Augusta, Georgia, he weighs in at 100 and...
Well, Mark Haggerty being...
Seen on the award-winning WWE Network.
All right.
He weighs in at 180 pounds, Anthony Henry. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. He weighs in at 255 pounds. He is the People's Executioner, Killer Kross.
Well, he does it for the people, so you can't really complain, right?
This guy Killer Kross, the talk of the wrestling world. Do you see how Anthony Henry had to get in there that he was seen on WWE Network?
Yeah, you know, they always say that when you're a big deal, people will tout your
have to-
success
yeah.
for
Yeah,
you.
right.
Yeah.
You know, like I was recognized as the 49th greatest talker in the history of professional wrestling by WWE.com. But you
They
don't
said it
see me
for you.
ham-fisting it into a situation
Of
where it
course
doesn't
not.
belong. Why
No,
would I?
Not at all. You would never do something like that.
Oh, watch the match. We got Anthony Henry versus Killer Kross, Josh.
Do we now? In all seriousness, we have a straight-up wrestling match going on right now. Floating around, manages to have him in a body scissors. Does Anthony Henry to Killer Kross. Kross much bigger. Henry very smart to be trying to work a mat game here. Size is not going to be as much of an issue in this regard.
Not for Anthony Henry, because you know what he does when he's not wrestling professionally?
What's that?
He's a mixed martial artist.
If you couldn't tell from what he was doing in the ring, now Joel has let you know. But yes, absolutely, and he's looking right there for a looking there for a key lock, and I don't know if that's going to work. And that's where the strength and size of Killer Kross is going to work in his favor. Great wrestling, great grappling here, and Anthony Henry showing the crowd that he does not appreciate their appreciation.
You know, another network that Anthony Henry, you may have seen him on, World Wrestling Network, WWN. He's signed, and he's been on multiple Evolve and FIP shows. He's a former Evolve Tag Team champ and the current FIP World Heavyweight Champion, I believe.
Which is another reason why he doesn't need to be interrupting a ring announcer. Wow, look at the strength from Killer Kross. That front face lock quickly broken up, but well. And it looks, he's got him in a rear chin lock right now. Going for a guillotine. No, he's got him. He didn't quite get that guillotine locked in. And going for the armbar now. He is, Killer Kross beautifully stopping that. Oh. I am unfortunately not well versed enough in mixed martial arts to be able to call every single move that is happening right now, but it looked like he was going for an armbar. Killer Kross managed to lock his fists.
You're not real well versed in professional wrestling, but you don't let it hold you back. You got a lot.
Oh, hey now. We were getting along so well, Joel.
We still can. Consider it millennial hipster irony.
Are you a millennial now?
I'm on the tail end. I'm on the cusp.
That's a very long tail, Joel.
Thanks for noticing. And tails are in the back.
Oh, my. All right. Look at that. Stiff shot there, and got him in a knee lock. Look at that. Killer Kross is just separating the legs right now, keeping the pressure off of his own knee and going for some body shots. Look at that.
Anthony Henry used to being in the down position, though, used to being on his back and fighting out of it because he is an MMA player.
Got him in an ankle.
He gets right to the ropes.
Got him in
Gets
an
out of
ankle
it.
lock out of the ropes. You know, this is wrestling. This is grappling at its finest, and I'm not entirely sure this is exactly what we were anticipating in this match. But we are seeing world-renowned skill from both of these athletes.
You'll fight some opponents like Killer Kross, top wrestlers in the world. You'll fight them as FIP champion, making those defenses. Did
Yes.
I mention that Anthony Henry, not only the current FIP champion, but that in a couple days on the 30th of September will be 1 year that he's held that title.
Absolutely impressive and a tough talker right now. We're going for more of a stand-up game, although he is working over that leg. A couple of stiff kicks from Henry to Killer Kross. Kross caught it. And this is where you come into, Killer Kross obviously has the reach advantage here. And beautiful kick. Right to the upper chest, I think.
Killer Kross has a trainer in Disco Inferno, his Las Vegas time. And I had Disco Inferno on my podcast, 69 Minute Eargasm. He's on this week, current guest. And one of his brags on the podcast was that, hey, you know how everybody's talking about Killer Kross today? I was talking about Killer Kross 3 years ago. That's something that Disco Inferno, who's been in the business 25, 30 years, was bragging about. That tells you how much faith he has for this man that he trained.
Absolutely, and I think that the entire wrestling world 3 years from now will still be talking about Killer Kross, as well as Anthony Henry. You know, Joel, you were a guest on my show. So says Chernoff on Fight TV.
I was, and Go Professional Wrestling still has allowed me to take the next step in my career a few days later and do this, and hopefully I'll be able to keep getting work even though I did your show out of the kindness.
Hey, I called them and I said, look, I had a nice sit down with Joel, and I think this will really boost his spirits.
Every sit down with me is a nice sit down.
Anyway, back to the action. I think we've put over our side projects quite enough because we are here, go big or go home. And Killer Kross trying to get back into the ring and caught that knee twisted between the ropes there. Anthony Henry, you know, we talked about as Killer Kross is entering the ring, we talked about everything. Look at that. All right, and now lack of sportsmanship coming in there. Those
ropes, when you got a limb, when you got a back of a knee, when you got something like that compromised along those ropes are not made of blue raspberry Twizzlers. Those ropes are hard objects wrapped around harder objects.
Yes, and the people who got here early were able to watch you discover that fact. But yes, they are wrapped in, it's steel cables. We call them ropes because traditionally in professional wrestling, originally there were ropes. Some companies still use rope. Tonight, as with a lot of other promotions, they use very taut steel cables. That is not something you want your leg wrapped around. Getting Killer Kross off of his feet and working over that knee again, that left knee. The pressure being put on by Anthony Henry.
He'll need to keep that pressure on, too. Killer Kross is a beast.
This is not the type... Oh, no. Okay. This is not the type of match that I was expecting us to see. I'm pleasantly surprised, to be honest. I love just watching a good grappling and wrestling and submission-style match. I will say, however, that Killer Kross, while he can hold his own with the best of them, if he finds an opportunity... he may want to utilize his size, his reach, and his advantage there as he right now has the ropes. And this needs to be broken. He needs to put his strength and his speed into action here. There we go. Beautiful suplex. Maybe he was listening to me.
You see a lot of people in NXT,
Yes.
in NXT, for example, and they go to WWE, for example, and you see they've been in the business 15 or 15 plus years,
yes.
and they get their break at 35 or at 33 or whatever.
Sure.
You'll see people 10 years, 12 years, and they get their break. Killer Kross is one of the top wrestlers in the world right now. Mm-hmm. He has been in this business for just 5 years.
It's incredible. It speaks to his talent, his determination, and he's going to need all of that determination right now as he is fighting through. I can't see from this vantage point whether or not that's a Fujiwara armbar as well as he has that leg hooked. So I can't be sure. Folks at home, I think you had a better view than we did.
Well, if it was a Mr. Fuji armbar, he would have thrown salt at him.
That's not all right.
I'm here for you, man.
I'm here all week. Well, went for some sort of a suplex. And Henry gets out of it. Goes for a kick. Kross catches that and back to that ankle lock again. This is impressive from Anthony Henry. This is not how I thought this was going to go. This is not how Killer Kross thought this was going to go. Killer Kross.
Anthony Henry's an MMA player. He's got him in an MMA-style ankle lock. It's impressive, but it's more impressive, arguably, by Killer Kross to be able to not have to succumb to him.
Okay, you know what? That's a really valid point. Killer Kross, you saw him bow when he got in. He is no stranger to mixed martial arts. Not as well versed, of course, as Anthony Henry, I would suggest. But again, just the size difference here, it's pretty surprising to see Killer Kross down on the mat as much as we've seen him on the mat. He needs just one big break. That's all he needs, one big break. A stiff kick, a good shot to the jaw of Anthony Henry, one of these things, and it looks like he got it. Henry sent into next week, and Killer Kross with a clothesline in the corner, and an uppercut, and another clothesline in the corner, and he scoops him up. Wow. T-bone suplex. Killer Kross trying to get the feeling back in his leg. Hold on, that roll back with a bridge isn't gonna do it, and he's caught. He's got him.
Whoa.
He's got him in a guillotine choke right there. Oh, no, he doesn't have all of it, I'm sorry. He's got it now, he's got it locked in. Killer Kross, that's it, ring the bell, we're done. Killer Kross, you notice, had his own fingers behind his neck, had it fully locked in, and he just straight up choked him out.
He just tapped out a world-class MMA fighter.
Executioner.
Wow.
Killer Kross.
This is a match specifically that I look forward to going back and watching on tape, because this was, from our vantage point, there were some things we weren't able to see, the intricate nature of this grappling. Anthony Henry can't believe it.
He's stunned. Let me tell you something. When it comes to affecting another man's career and boosting your own with a big victory, one way to truly be a killer and destroy the other man for a good while is to beat him at his own game. Anthony Henry, an MMA fighter, FIP champion for a year, now has to realize that he, on this night, go big or go home, got caught by Killer Kross, caught in the Killer Kross fire.
Absolutely. What an incredible match we just saw. A mixed martial arts, a grappling style match. Maybe not what we were expecting, but man, did they deliver. Killer Kross victorious. Coming up next is a double farewell match to the independent wrestling scene. Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford are on their way to AEW this week. But first, they both have to get through Jordynne Grace and Allie Kat in this fatal four-way matchup coming at you next. Right now, we're going to get Killer Kross. We're going to get some words from him.
How you came out victorious tonight?
It's very simple. I squeezed all the blood out of his brain. Isn't that what you guys came here to see? That's what I thought. They don't call me the people's executioner for no reason.
Do you have any parting words for Anthony Henry tonight?
Looking forward to it next time. This is long from over, my friend. We're Bloodsport brethren. We do this until we can no longer.
Thank you very much.
Wow, some serious words from the people's executioner, Killer Kross. We have got so much more action for you tonight. As I mentioned before, this is the send-off for Nyla Rose, the send-off for Penelope Ford. You have to imagine Jordynne Grace and Allie Kat, both of them everyone wants to win this match, but for them to continue their careers in the independent scene, knowing that they sent either or both Nyla Rose and Penelope Ford off to AEW with a loss, that's got to be something they're both looking for.
Absolutely. This is big for all 4 women involved, and I can't wait to see it.
Let's head back up to Mark Haggerty at ringside.
Well, folks, a little bit earlier, we saw Kip Sabian ride off into the sunset. A little bit later, we're going to see Private Party. But coming up next, we're going to see some other final appearances on the independents. But I would like to, at this time, invite a friend of mine to the ring to be your special guest ring announcer. He is the host of Busted Open Radio. Make some noise for Dave Lagreca!
Dave Lagreca of Busted Open Radio. Busted Open just announced they will be going for 6 days. 6 days a week now.
really appreciate it. You can hear me. Now, Monday through Saturday on Sirius XM Fight Nation, Busted Open. Really appreciate the Busted Open Nation coming out tonight. And I really appreciate all of you. And thank you. And Go Pro Wrestling, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dave Lagreca, our special ring announcer.
Can we call you Blue Shoe? All right, next, are you guys ready for our next contest? Okay, first, from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 160 pounds, Thick Mama Pump, Jordynne Grace.
Jordynne Grace, one of the most, I don't even know how to describe that. She is just one of the most intimidating women in professional wrestling today. Her strength is astonishing.
Yeah. She's in unbelievable condition. She's in unbelievable shape. She has her body trained to be the best asset and tool that it could be for the sport of professional wrestling.
Just escaped from local animal hospital, #BodyCat, Allie Kat.
Allie Kat, no slouch in her own right, but Allie Kat might actually be the underdog out of this foursome.
Allie Kat's definitely got something to prove. You know, we were talking before about people not leaving for AEW, but going AEW exclusive and that kind of thing, and Dynamite starting up in the days to come. So all those people I mentioned before, for them, go big or go home. But as far as their career, go big and stay big.
Yes.
Now with Allie Kat, go big, and she's kind of, you know, her career, there's been talk, and it's in a lot of flux. So is it go big and get bigger? Is it go big or go smaller? Or is it go big or go home? She's got a lot to prove, maybe even some of it to herself.
I think that remains to be seen for sure as Penelope Ford makes her way to the ring right now. One of the most talked about women in wrestling today. And this will be her final appearance on the independent wrestling scene before heading off officially to All Elite Wrestling on TNT. Oh my.
The independent scene has been very good to Penelope, and Penelope has been very good to the independent scene.
Absolutely.
And it's great to see that she's getting her chance and that she'll be on that national, that global platform every week.
What an opportunity for the other competitors in this match. When we talk about AEW, how can you not talk about Nyla Rose, who is making her way to the ring right now? She is one of the #1 contenders to be the first ever AEW Women's Champion.
She appeared at Double or Nothing and All Out. She took part in the AEW Women's Casino Battle Royal, which she won. Here she comes. And Josh, what could somebody like me, Josh, expound upon and elucidate through color commentary when it comes to Nyla Rose? For those who don't know Nyla Rose, what could somebody like me say? Well, as everyone knows, it's no secret, and it won't upset anyone to hear this, but Rose is a competitor of First Nations background. Native American, as some people say. She's of Oneida heritage.
Done research here, Joel. Nyla Rose. You can see, you mentioned her Native American heritage. You can see the armband that she has. Definitely, as well as the boots that she's wearing, definitely paying homage to her heritage. We have we have four of the top athletes in women's wrestling today in the ring right now. I only said 3 because one of them I thought for a second was a cat because she still had something in her mouth.
Meow.
There you are. And it looks like, apparently Nyla Rose does not want to be a part of this this friendly tie-up.
Well, all of them are going to have 9 lives if they want to beat the other 3 and get the win.
Nyla Rose and Jordynne Grace is somewhat of a dream matchup in general when you're talking about strength. Penelope Ford with a stiff kick sends Rose to the outside, and we are down to 3 women in the ring right now. Duck under, goes around, takes, Ford goes down, a roll up. Jordynne Grace almost gets the cover on Allie Kat. Tripped out there. And Allie Kat with a beautiful senton, and Jordynne Grace rolls out of the ring. Penelope Ford taking advantage of that, kind of laden weight.
Jordynne Grace feeling it, and you got to do some real damage if Jordynne Grace is feeling it this early on.
Yeah. Reversal Ford into the ropes, or into the corner rather. Flips over. Whoa!
Wow,
the
that's
athleticism.
cat-like. Whoa!
Wow, little matrix move and a stunner for her troubles.
Good morning,
and the cover.
Miss Ford.
For the cover. Now, you notice how quickly Jordynne Grace and Nyla Rose ran into that ring there. That is because this is one fall to a finish, this match, Joel. This is not an elimination match. But again, oh man, Allie Kat had a plan, and that plan did not work out for her. Jordynne Grace trading blows with Nyla Rose. Penelope Ford, I don't know why she decided to get herself in the middle of that. And once again, back and forth. Couple stiff shots up on the shoulders of Nyla Rose is Jordynne Grace. Grace works her way out, shoves Nyla Rose right into Allie Kat, who again finds herself in just a very unfortunate situation. You know, I mentioned Allie Kat. Well, that didn't work. Oh, God. I mentioned Allie Kat being the underdog, or undercat rather, of this match, and that she's no slouch in and of herself, but look at the talent that is in here, the strength.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's some of the best women in the world that were available tonight. We said it during another match earlier. These competitors, all 4 of them, individually, together, this match could be happening anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Any of these 4 could be anywhere in the world. They're here tonight.
Using Jordynne Grace as a stepping stone, right? And the athletic ability and a back elbow finds its mark on Nyla Rose. Penelope Ford is an incredible athlete. You see her gymnastic background. But right now she's rolled up by Jordynne Grace, too, and no. And Allie Kat sneaks in from behind with a 2 count of her own.
Yeah, very flexible and versatile is Penelope Ford.
Calm down. Ooh, stiff shot there by Jordynne Grace. Looks like Allie Kat is down, grasping onto her knee. I think there might be a serious injury going on there. She's trying to get herself out of the ring. And we might want to get some medical assistance out here for Allie Kat. Not entirely sure what it is that happened there, but right now it looks like Jordynne Grace. Nyla Rose comes out full head of steam. Double clothesline takes Grace and Penelope Ford down. Cover. Only a 2 count. Is she going to try her luck with Ford? 2, and no.
Didn't get a fall on either of them.
One has to wonder.
Mauled both of them.
One has to wonder, had she gone for Penelope Ford first, maybe she would have been victorious. And setting up for this camel clutch. Oh, my. Sitting right down on the small of Penelope Ford's back. Penelope Ford, we talked about her flexibility. We talked about her gymnastics background, but still the human body is not meant to bend that way. A cover by Jordynne Grace, hoping to be able to make out here. Allie Kat still on the outside of the ring. There's definite concern for her well-being as Nyla Rose rolls out and is pummeling her on the outside.
Ooh.
Stiff shot to the stomach by Jordynne Grace. It's Penelope Ford and catches Nyla Rose on her way in. Hangs her up on the ropes, and a beautiful DDT by Jordynne Grace. Cover, and that could be it. No. Nyla Rose gets her shoulder up. Nyla Rose not used to being in the ring with somebody who can match her strength, and the same can be said for Jordynne Grace as well, as she is scooped up by Rose and slammed to the mat with authority. Vicious leg drop. Look at the height she got on that. 2, and broken up by Penelope Ford.
Hands down, they're 2 of the strongest women in professional wrestling. When she had the prerogative, right, the dilemma of who should I cover, she covered Jordynne Grace first, and like you said, but now I'm starting to wonder, maybe she covered Jordynne Grace first because she'd prefer to get the victory.
That's it. Well, she got her victory over Penelope Ford. You were making a great point, but I think maybe you were right. Maybe she
should have gone again, if she would have tried. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Nyla Rose victorious, and Allie Kat definitely sustained an injury, which we're hoping that this is not as serious as it seems.
Hopefully
right
she's
now.
okay.
Allie Kat is being helped to the locker room. You hate to see this happen.
Here's your winner, Nyla Rose.
But Nyla Rose victorious. Isn't it interesting that this victory is over Penelope Ford, the 2 of them headed to AEW, in a sign of ultimate respect from the both of them right now.
Ultimate respect, because in the weeks to come, like you were saying, on Dynamite, on AEW TV, week after week at the top of the women's division, these 2 are going to beat the holy hell out of each other.
Absolutely. Nyla Rose very well may be your first ever AEW Women's Champion, and you know that Penelope Ford is going to study this match from Go Professional Wrestling's Go Big or Go Home, and is going to say, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? Because she absolutely has her eye on Nyla Rose.
I think a lot of combatants' careers that we've seen tonight are going to be impacted and affected by results of tonight's event. I think a lot of tape will be watched. I think a lot of history will be studied. I think a lot of history will be yet to be made. I think that's what makes Go Big or Go Home so special.
We have a presentation now from Brittany and Candace and from everybody here at GPW.
You guys hear this crowd. You guys both deserve it. You're absolutely incredible. We can't thank you guys enough for what you brought tonight and what you guys will continue to bring in this industry.
Uh-oh. Nyla's got a live mic.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to keep it short because the last time I opened my mouth, I got in trouble. Simply put, thank you guys.
Crowd showing their respect and appreciation for Nyla Rose.
Truly, you guys have been so good to me these past 6 years, 6+ years, traveling up and down the East Coast, Midwest, North, South, Japan. I can't say anything else. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, watch AEW on TNT on October 2nd. But also, thank you.
And thank you, Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford. Wishing them nothing but the best in what I expect to be an incredibly successful career for both women. And it looks like now we're going to hear from Penelope Ford.
Well, like Nyla said, thank you so much. I'm glad to have made my last independent match in front of all of you guys. Thank you so much for the support and love. It's pushed me through these past 6 years for myself as well. I love doing this. I didn't always know about wrestling, but when I found it, I fell deeply in love with it, and thanks to you guys, because you just make me fall in love with it more and more every day. I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much, though. Thank you, really.
Penelope Ford, rarely at a loss for words, but at the end there, she really was. I think the respect and appreciation this crowd is showing. I think I speak for you, Joel, when I say we second that, and we thank them for being here tonight at Go Big or Go Home, and we wish them the best of luck moving forward.
This is it, right? Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, this is your time. Accept confetti.
It is time. From saying goodbye in the independent wrestling scene to Nyla Rose and Penelope Ford, to saying so long to Private Party as they are getting ready to square off against JT Dunn and Teddy Hart.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event here tonight as Go Pro Wrestling presents Go Big or Go Home.
What an incredible night of action this has been. Any match on the card could have been the main event, but this is your main event. We want to take this opportunity to thank Wrestling Travel for their sponsorship of Go Big or Go Home. Of course, Subculture as well. Great shrimp. Subculture, providing some food for the talent in the locker room. What the support that people have shown from all over the world for Go Professional Wrestling's first event, Go Big or Go Home, has been incredible. And right now, we are about to witness the final independent wrestling performance of Private Party.
With me, all the ladies with the gun, and you already know. You can hate if you want, you just mad at yourself. Cause I came and I grabbed that top spot. Such a shame that you spent 7 years being doorman, and you never got that one shot. We kicking the door, you stand at the frame, trying to be a nice guy with a knock. Chin tuck, head down, walk forward, and we kick in the door, let's go. Hey, this is a private party, but you are all invited. And let's just get it started. Throw your hands up, everybody. This is a private party, but you are all invited.
You know, talk about all of the athletes that are going to AEW.
Yes.
Private Party, I'll have you know, was handpicked by the Young Bucks to join AEW. So think about this. Young Bucks probably would like to be AEW Tag Team Champions always and forever, right?
Yeah,
probably always want to be the top team there, right?
Yep.
That's their place, right? Because they're arguably the top tag team in the world, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And the Young Bucks, who don't want to get any victories over any slouches and who only want to beat top competition, handpicked Private Party.
They're that good that they could not pass up an opportunity to have them there. And what on earth are we even looking at right now? They're...
Whoa, look at the move. They got cats.
They do indeed have cats. And this is an Allie Kat coming in the ring. JT Dunn and Teddy Hart are both bringing felines to the ring. This is something that Teddy Hart is... I don't understand. Joel, we talked about this before.
I don't know how he can hold a cat.
How
I don't know how he can
possible that cat is not running away?
I would be shredded. My
Look at
cat,
that cat.
Little
is
Kitty
adorable.
Chaos on Instagram, would shred me to ribbons. Look at the way if you can hold a cat like that, you can convince and impose a human being to lay down for 3. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, I have never seen such a docile cat. 2.
But he's got the cat trained.
Yes.
Who knows if the
Well,
cat
this
by
is-
nature was born a docile cat?
I don't know. but
He's
this
a
is
cat
something-
whisperer.
He absolutely is. This is not. He trains cats. That is something that Teddy Hart does in his spare time when
The
he's
cat's
not,
on the top rope.
Yes.
Try to get a human being who's not trained for professional wrestling. Try to get them on the top rope. He's got that cat on the top rope.
This is
Just
incredible.
want to start off. Any promoter, especially in this area, takes a huge risk. And money in this world, from my experience, is very hard to come by. So I just want to give a thanks to the guys that ran this show, and they did a beautiful job for their first time, a beautiful job. The lighting, the ring, the screens, the tables. To me, that's a class show, guys. I ask everyone to be honest with their friends and family, use social media, and help this thing grow, because this promotion could be something special. And they actually really, from what I see, they really believe in making sure to bring in great guys. The future of wrestling, guys, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there was a team called the Young Bucks. I discovered them. Unbelievable. And then you see the progression of wrestling, the evolution of wrestling. It's very hard to be the next best thing or the future of wrestling. I watched these two guys, and I said the same thing about the Young Bucks. They made my heart soar. They made me look up in heaven and say, Owen Hart, Davey Boy Smith, Jim Neidhart, Andre the Giant, my grandfather, keep guys like this safe and let them show the world why they're one of the best tag teams ever. Not now, not later, but ever, period. These guys are the future. AEW signed them, and they get a financial reward now because they gave their lives to make you guys smile. That's what they wanted. These are studs. I'm honored to have your last independent match with you guys. Honored to be in the ring with you, JT. Go Pro Wrestling, thank you very much. God bless you guys. Thank you for your time and energy and your love for this business. Have a nice day after the show. Buy a drink for your friends, and don't get too drunk.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to use social media. I'm going to do it right now. And if you don't believe me, if this is on Fight in the next few days, it might still be up, or you go back a couple days and you'll find it. On my Twitter, @StudMuffin says, I'm doing it. I could listen to these guys talk all day. Gary V and Teddy Hart. So I've tagged them both, and I've tagged Go Pro Wrestling, and it's a poll. Who would you rather listen to, Gary V or Teddy Hart? I'm going to use Twitter and social media to promote Teddy Hart and Go Pro Wrestling.
Sounds good. I support that 100%.
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He weighs in at 200 pounds.
JT Dunn.
He is the past,
Exactly.
the present, and the future of pro wrestling.
JT Dunn.
Teddy
Another
Hart.
amazing competitor.
JT Dunn and Teddy
And their
Hart.
opponents
What a team.
to my
what a team
right,
they make.
hailing from on location,
Two very
where you
unique
need
people.
an invitation. They weigh in at 24 ounces of cranberry and vodka. They are Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Private Party.
Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, Private Party. As we've said numerous times, this is their final match on the independent wrestling scene before officially beginning with AEW. They are without question one of the hottest teams going today, but they are in there with JT Dunn and Teddy Hart. This is not going to be a walk in the park for their final match here.
Don't get it twisted. They did not get handpicked by the Young Bucks just because they could cut a good promo, just because they could do good business on the mic. They got handpicked because they won the House of Glory tag team titles from none other than LAX. And when they lost them about 9 months later, it took the likes of the Hardy Boys to beat them.
I mean, if that doesn't say it all, I don't know what does. But we are underway here with this match. Mark Quinn in there with JT Dunn to start things off. There we go. Deep wrist lock there. JT Dunn flips backwards right out of it with assistance from the ropes. Locks in one for his own right. Beautiful flip Back into control. You were looking at 4 of the top stars in this business from an athletic standpoint. Very few can do what these 4 can do.
From a life standpoint.
Yes.
From a life standpoint. JT Dunn, rocky road, tough life in and outside of the ring. He's been through real things, but he's a warrior. He keeps moving forward ever stronger. And you look at his resume, you look at titles, you look at, we talked about how Anthony Henry was an FIP champion. This is an FIP tag team champion. This is somebody CW, Chaotic Wrestling, heavyweight champion, Northeast Wrestling, heavyweight champion.
And I think that that's important to, wow, look at that. Beautiful standing moonsault, and of course, and paying homage to the late great Eddie Guerrero right there is Isaiah Cassidy, who flies through the top and middle rope. The beautiful suicide dive takes JT Dunn down. Teddy Hart in the ring. Teddy Hart had some very, very respectful things to say about Private Party, but do not think for 1 second that Teddy Hart is looking to go easy on this team. He wants, just like anyone else would, he wants to end their independent wrestling careers with a victory over them.
Teddy Hart, perhaps, feels that he's accomplished in his almost quarter century in the business more than Private Party has. Some of it even recently. MLW, yeah. Remember, we had, right, the match, Richard Holliday,
yes.
Right? Brian Pillman Jr., 2 MLW Tag Team Champions. So is Teddy
Dynasty
Hart in the
Hart
faction
Foundation,
with Brian
yes.
Pillman Jr. Absolutely, but what else has he done? What hasn't he done? Who hasn't he been trained by? Who isn't he part of the lineage of? I mean, it's just the stuff that he's done and the stuff that he still has always had the potential to do is unlimited.
He is, I mean, he's Teddy Hart. He is from the famed Hart family. He's trained by the famed Hart family. That is not something that can ever be taken lightly.
And Dory Funk Jr. outside of his family.
And
Dory Funk Jr.
Just in case being trained by the Harts, growing up a Hart wasn't enough, go get trained by one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and Dory Funk Jr. Beautiful backstabber right to JT Dunn. With that vicious, that almost looked like a Death Valley driver into a neck breaker. Sorry to cut you off there, Joel.
No.
Only a 2 count.
No, I mean, the one thing I was going to say is that, you know, Teddy Hart, how he got to be trained by Dory Funk Jr. is that in 1998, he became the youngest person ever to be signed to a WWF at the time developmental contract.
Yes. A lot of people saw a lot of potential in Teddy Hart that I don't know that Teddy Hart appreciated at the time, but at this stage in his career, he knows what it takes to make it to the top. He knows what it takes to be a top athlete in this business. He takes everything that he does now very seriously inside that ring. You can tell that Teddy Hart is ready, willing, and able to do what needs to be done.
Wow.
To make it to the top and to defeat Private Party. The double teaming here on Isaiah Cassidy. And that might be it. Oof. I have been a fan of really all 4 of these athletes since I first saw any of them. Obviously, Teddy Hart I've been familiar with for a longer period of time, but this is a dream tag match that we're watching here. And again, you know, you have to look at it, Private Party, as much as JT Dunn and Teddy Hart would love to send Private Party off with a loss. Private Party, they need to know in the main event of the first ever Go Professional Wrestling event, Go Big or Go Home, they want to win this match. They want to go into AEW this week, and they want to walk in with their heads held high saying, we just beat JT Dunn and Teddy Hart. What's next?
Yeah, one team has something they need to prove, and the other team has something they need to get done and accomplish.
Absolutely. Teddy Hart tagged back in by JT Dunn. He is in there with Isaiah Cassidy. Isaiah Cassidy. Cassidy sent down. Stiff boot from Teddy Hart. Do not let Teddy Hart's ring attire fool you. He looks flashy, like he's there to just have fun. That man can go in the ring. As he, as Mark,
he'll wear that in the
Quinn
street
just
too.
found. What's that?
He'll wear it in the street too. His gear.
Oh
That's not a costume.
No.
That's not an outfit. That's not attire, garb, gear. That's Teddy Hart.
That is Teddy Hart, 100%. That is Teddy Hart. Duck under Teddy Hart. Well, he attempted that. Well, right into JT Dunn. That's unfortunate for. Oh, but wait. Sent back. Cassidy lands on his feet and leaps for the tag, and in comes Mark Quinn. Beautiful flying crossbody to both Teddy Hart and JT Dunn, and Private Party taking control of the match. Let's see, we might have a hand or finger issue here. Suicide dive!
Wow.
Over the top rope. Caught Teddy Hart right on the back of his neck. Over the top again, my God.
Most human beings couldn't do one of those dives. He just did 4 in less than a minute.
I hurt myself trying to get up from my seat earlier. Teddy Hart being brushed off on the outside. The fans firmly behind Private Party right now. And beautiful standing shooting star press. And whoa. Thought we had a 3 count right there. Mark Quinn needs to stay on top of JT Dunn right now. Sends Dunn head first into that top turnbuckle pad. I know we call it a pad, but it is unforgiving. And Isaiah Cassidy back into the ring.
He's wearing the Godfather socks, and he's going to try to make JT Dunn an offer he can't get up from.
Well said. I sit here wearing a Sloths on my socks, and I got to tell you, his sock game is on point.
Apropos for him and the Sloths, totally.
And apropos for me,
there
if you had to compare our in-ring ability. So,
not to say you're physically, but mentally, you're a little bit,
Thank you for clearing that up.
And that's not a terrible thing. You're a nice person, and you've got your own set of skills.
I'm only going to listen to the compliments of that. JT Dunn with a kick right to Mark Quinn's face, and it looks like, what do we have going on the outside here? Oh! That gentleman that
I don't know whether that was controlled or not, but that looked ugly. I think
we've got
if the first one didn't get him, that did. That guy just got wiped out.
I'm not entirely sure who that is, but or better, maybe I should say who that was.
If that's a fan that wanted a better view, he got the best seat in the house.
Well, he came to the ring. He accompanied JT Dunn and Teddy Hart to the ring. And
he's part of that entourage, that circus-like carnivalistic entourage.
Yeah, and I absolutely think that this is something he regrets now. Well, JT Dunn has... Oh, boy, we've seen this in the past. Look at that. Look at that key lock being applied into a DDT to Mark Quinn. Teddy Hart. The athletic ability of that man is astonishing.
For a generation, for a quarter of a century.
Man. I said the athletic ability of that man. I literally could have been referring to any. I was referring specifically to Teddy Hart. Could have been referring to any of the 4 competitors in this match. And it looks like, JT Dunn trying to hold them in place. Teddy Hart lands on his feet. Unbelievable. Can't say I'm surprised, but still incredibly impressed.
Wow.
As the crowd chants for Teddy Hart, we have bodies all over the place here. Teddy Hart asking JT Dunn to throw at least one member of Private Party back into the ring, and it looks like that unlucky member is Isaiah Cassidy.
This is carnage, man. We got
hooking
entourage
Mark
members
Quinn.
all over the place.
Teddy Hart getting that crowd into it, and the crowd is getting on their feet. What on earth is being planned here? Snaps Cassidy's neck on the ropes there, does Teddy Hart. And Teddy Hart now with a knee right to Mark Quinn. Look at, I don't even know what is happening here. And oh!
Vicious.
DDT pile driver combo from the ropes. Teddy Hart's feet firmly placed on said ropes.
Your skull's not meant to take a DDT. Your skull's not meant to take a pile driver. And your skull is not meant to take a DDT pile driver combo.
Oh, what an incredible match we're seeing here tonight. You know, these four gentlemen entered this. Teddy Hart going to the top rope now. High risk, high reward. We have seen this in the past. Went for that top rope Canadian Destroyer. Went for, oof, Pele kick.
Oh, he fell with the back of his head right into the ropes, too.
Leaps to the top. Teddy Hart caught in a cutter. Private Party could have
rolls
it, but
out.
Hart,
And rolls out. Smart.
the veteran in the match.
Smart.
Teddy Hart rolls out. Private Party could have had that. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome." I wholeheartedly agree. Private Party using each other. Stiff forearm and a stiffer super kick. And a kick to the back takes JT Dunn down. Wow, paying homage to the Young Bucks there. Maybe that wasn't paying them any respect. Maybe that was a shout out saying, "Hey, we're coming for you, Bucks." Oh,
wow.
You heard that, AEW Tag Champs. A premonition and a kick to the face of Teddy Hart from Isaiah Cassidy. Cassidy has Dunn up on his shoulders. Quinn on the top rope. Rolls through and
wow.
Beautiful splash and a moonsault
Beautiful.
for his troubles. 1, 2, 3. Private Party successfully.
Oh, Teddy Hart's not happy about it.
Your winners, Private
What
Party.
a match we just witnessed, Joel.
A lot of the people who needed to keep their professional, their emotional momentum up. A lot of the people who are leaving to be exclusive contract players with AEW, for example. A lot of people who needed the win tonight got the win tonight. And two of those people are Private Party.
Private Party heads to AEW with their heads held high. They can walk in, and you heard that. You heard that from Isaiah Cassidy where he said AEW Tag Champs. They're sending a message to everyone in the AEW Tag Team division.
Teddy Hart's frustrated.
What an incredible showing. You know, these four came in here to the main event on a show where every single match from start to finish could have been a main event. And they delivered, and a sign of respect. This is what you like to see, the sportsmanship. Four incredible athletes.
JT Dunn is frustrated, but like you said, a sign of respect, a show of respect, onward and upward, and I'm sure they wish Private Party only the best. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. Private Party headed for headed to AEW. JT Dunn and Teddy Hart continue their successful careers. JT Dunn has a microphone. Let's listen up.
Let me. Damn, that move sucks. Let me just rap with y'all real quick as I catch my breath. I fought the best tag teams in the world. I beat them all. I've beat Red Dragon. I've beat the Kingdom. I beat the Young Bucks in their own house. I've done it. But since the day I met Private Party, about 4.5 years ago, I looked at their trainers and I said, this right here, this is the future, not only of tag team wrestling, but wrestling in general.
Crowd chanting for Private Party, showing their respect. What an honor this was for us,
Everything
Joel.
you guys have done since that moment has made you even better. So myself, Teddy, and all of these fans want you to walk into AEW, and we want you to kick the Young Bucks directly in their goddamn mouth. Because when Private Party wins, we all win. But boys, I'm 0-2 against y'all. I'm not done fighting you yet. The GOAT, that's the GOAT right there. In case y'all don't know, that means the greatest of all time. The innovator, the past, present, and future. And if I'm gonna have your last match, your last tag team match here in independent wrestling, there's nobody else in the world I want to team with but Teddy Hart. You. I know I'm taking up too much time, but I don't really do these very often. And well, I'm the best, so I can kind of do what I want. There was a part in my life where I used to joke with my friends that one day I'm gonna grow old and I'm gonna fight Teddy Hart. And I did that, and I thought that was really cool. Tonight, this was much cooler. I got to watch you drop them on their head instead of being the one getting my ass kicked all the time. But I hope you understand, and I hope that these people here understand, and y'all understand, that there's professional wrestlers, there's humans like Teddy Hart that make each and every single one of us go home and question our passion for pro wrestling. Because every time I see you, I love wrestling that much more. Every time I get to wrestle them, I love wrestling that much more. And here, the main event, it's Go Pro Wrestling. And after tonight, oh, I love wrestling that much more.
What an incredible night of professional wrestling we have witnessed here. And the celebration continues in the middle of the ring. The owner of Go Professional Wrestling making his way into the ring right now.
We can't say much after that. You know, we just want to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for letting us be a part of your last indie match. Seriously, go out there and kill it like we know you will. Send you off with a final farewell, proper way, some gin and juice. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, what's in this cup? This ain't water. It's definitely not water. I don't really do this thing a lot, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported us since we debuted in 2015 till now. You guys watch us grew from the very beginning to now, and you watched every step, and you guys supported us since day one, and from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you, because let's be real, if it wasn't for each and every one of you, we wouldn't be here right now, so I just really want to say thank you, because you guys got us in this moment right here. You got anything to say?
Wait, hold on.
Don Moff, we fucking love you. That's all I gotta say.
They told us to take it easy. We don't know what that is. And when it comes to the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions, it's gonna be us, because we're going to tear the roof off of that place. Now let's get this party started!
Give it up one more time, everyone, for Private Party.
What an amazing night this was. Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, Kip Sabian, Private Party, all going on to AEW. Their final night here on the independent wrestling scene was here. They went big. They didn't go home at Go Big or Go Home. Joel, what an amazing night this was.
They went big, and they could have done it anywhere. They could have gone anywhere, but they came here to Wayne, New Jersey, to go big or go home. And like you said, they're going to go big. And for those who got the wins that they needed to keep their momentum, they're going to go big and stay big.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We had an incredible night. I know you did too. What a great night of professional wrestling. Go professional wrestling. Go big or go home. For Joel Gertner, I'm Josh Chernoff. Good night, everybody.